12 dreams for the Red Queen under the crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending? Death. Since the apple was plucked from the
These patrols are after me.
Look lively! It's on to us!
No! No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening.
Over there! One of those birds! One of them!
No! Please! Stop! I mean you no harm. What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about? Now, I can defend myself.
Kill that thing!
Who are you? Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast! Burn him! Sorry.
It's on to
No,
us!
please, stop!
That's a live fire, does it?
Who are you?
There's one of them vermin!
What do you want?
I mean you no harm. I need help.
Die, you fucking leech!
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide.
Right now!
Let me go! I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here. Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become. These people want me dead. I need to leave. My head's spinning.
Oi! Come on, you coward! Clever fucking beasts!
It's locked. I'm still in Southwark.
Over there!
I must reach the West End. Go back home. Strength. A strength I never knew I had.
Stupid beast!
This shouldn't be possible. Every sinew, every fiber of my being is afire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body. My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore. sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. It's locked, all right. This is despicable. It's locked. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. I have what will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered. Another. Fresh blood. The smell is so strong. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail. At last, whoever he may be, the killer recently entered this bar.
Hello, sir.
I don't...
It's a good thing you can't see me now, Mum.
What's
Two bodies.
This-
No.
What?
Is it no?
Not long ago.
What?
This is
Are you...
no.
you... I'll leave then.
Probably something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No? What?
Yeah, but... Had this... what? Has... You... I'll leave...
Oh, God.
No.
You... Yeah.
Where... You're...
Yeah.
You... You... I just... Yeah. No.
I think I'm losing my mind.
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area,
They do not pursue me.
but they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until...
I'm not sure that I...
Might I...
That's not...
Sir, you have entered
Something...
the calling card.
You see me... Then...
Dr. Edgar.
What have you... How? I... Some...
Sir,
Then
I'm...
I've... A shadow, indeed. Yet I have...
You should let me...
No.
How will you do...
I'll end him.
Then I can only...
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else
I should
came
just
here
run
tonight.
as far away from this place as I can.
Someone must know.
Hello, sir. Neil. I'll...
Welcome back.
I think you're... Good.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even...
It's a good thing you can... I have a... I spoke...
The truth?
I suspect...
I'm just...
What? What?
I mean...
Tell...
We'll
What?
talk...
You again.
Tom.
Yeah. What did... What...
Is that... How... You could please... Thank you.
Over my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body.
Over there! Crush the left! Oh, Christ! Watch it!
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy. This place reeks of bloodshed. This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stone, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
It's my turn!
Rotten autocracy. Each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Sir, insult me again and I'll put an end to your misery right now.
All right, sorry.
Yes. Follow me.
dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Hurry up!
Doctor! Yes.
I would...
I get...
What?
Well, you... Doctor... You'll get...
If...
Sir.
Good evening. I'm not...
When?
You have...
Not... You will... But you... Oh. Yes, go. Yes.
Goodbye.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Good evening. I'm you.
How it is.
Can no.
No,
You don't. No.
You.
Goodbye for now.
Damn.
Good evening.
You're
I,
what?
you,
Well, I don't.
please, I'm,
No.
it's,
Delusional, you say? It's. Thank you.
I'm-
It's lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Evening.
how close
Wait for her.
aren't you afraid?
She's quiet.
So do
Come on.
she could
And it's an.
you
In a.
goodbye for now. Good evening. Talk what you thank. Hi. What would you I'm do you talk? People who's not this is who's it has that you're attack why I not that have you not you preach have you not you goodbye mister. Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed, I am Thoreau Strickland.
What?
This epidemic may be the...
What can you tell?
Well, it is... I'm quite true. Well,
Do you?
oh,
Nice. Goodbye.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit.
Thank you, nurse.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Tell I was. You know. Tell
What I...
Goodbye for now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, sir. I'm
Reed.
If I'm. There is no need for such.
That is one point we could agree on. Look, we're here. Modern.
Tell me.
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives.
Are you thinking about something?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery.
And are you?
Rivalry.
Why do you?
I strongly believe that Miss.
If you are going to lead this.
I'm not the kind of man.
I don't know. And be careful. Knowledge.
It is not a
It seems.
I refuse.
We can at least. Thank you for. Good evening.
Good evening.
How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Goodbye.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. Anything from her.
Good evening. And what do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want?
Fair question.
As for me,
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury.
He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence. I agree. But that does not excuse...
Do you think keeping his distance...
All I know is that I'm taking care of...
Goodbye,
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
You always knew the...
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick, unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me about what do you...
I often...
in others...
I'm a...
Goodbye for...
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening.
No, yeah.
Could...
So, yeah. So, good evening, sir.
Good...
I'm a...
Tell me. I have...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam.
I'm...
What?
No.
Are you...
Yeah. I'm...
What do you...
I...
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She...
Yeah. I...
Goodbye. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan.
Well, it's a euphemism that you'll help.
How would you
It's...
You... How... You're... What? What? Goodbye. Good evening, miss.
I need blood.
Tell me. Would you...
No.
I'll leave you. Good evening. Goodbye for now.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, sir.
So do we actually? Yes.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember.
He was...
What is this? It... What's up?
No, I'll go even...
No.
Don't get...
Goodbye. Good evening, Did he...
You...
How are... Do you... I'm not...
It would...
Is... Why...
I guess...
No.
No.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim...
If it was...
Dr. Tippett...
If you're...
Goodbye, nurse. You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls.
You've nothing...
I have...
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Dr. Tippett. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was not any...
What do you mean?
No. What? Half?
Have we...
I went funny. Do you... Yes?
What? What?
Up yet? Who? I'm... What with the... What come with the quarantine?
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short. and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Goodbye. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye, Milton. Good evening.
Good evening.
I have some...
What?
I retrieved...
Well, yeah.
Not at all.
Good.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am. Maybe you can't...
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see the city is crumbling down? Today, people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow, we may be fighting for food.
Goodbye, Milton.
that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
You are going to reveal all your secrets.
My blood and soul, they belong to you now.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Oh.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me.
You have no idea what problems...
Why fear the truth?
I'll leave you.
Wasted too much energy for so little result.
Feel disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
The daily
Pepper,
Yes?
I have no intent...
The rules say I won't be...
Is he worth...
Hey.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why?
Why not?
In your position, I would suggest a more elaborate defense. Cynicism will not save you.
This isn't cynicism, it's realism. You still need me, Dr. Reed, and you know it.
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
But the suffering continues.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I...
I'm so sorry.
A crisis?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type?
You have...
if combined, this perhaps...
It's the large...
The abandoned... Exactly.
It's...
What?
At the...
You're...
We... London...
That's all. It's locked, all right. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. It's locked, all right. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. Traces... A punk... Scientific... These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did.
If I had not covered up his error...
You can't allow your emotions...
Look around you, Doctor.
Perhaps you...
You mean you've never...
Goodbye, Nurse. Call... Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the...
It was a...
Why
are you...
Who was this?
I don't know.
I will...
I don't know what to say, actually.
You didn't force me.
Then I can make you this promise.
What will you do after your resignation? Do you have a plan?
I always fancied visiting Cyprus. Such a beautiful island. I could buy a house there, by the sea. Read poetry and wait for death.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
I thought last summer's epidemic was different.
Mistress of the dark. Stop following.
I wasted too much energy for so little result.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time?
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Here again.
Still standing after this epidemic. There's good reason to be.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know sweet girl. Fail and survive.
Like a book. Good evening.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor.
Yes, Nurse.
You've worked your...
Duty call?
Many thanks.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I'm...
You are not a burden, sir.
And you have my credit.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke is
that...
How
so painful, I'd rather...
I have to go now.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Miss.
Oh, sweet girl. Breaks me like a...
It's locked. It's locked. It's locked.
Methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
Damn. The pain.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Doctor,
and why?
people who don't sleep enough.
Do you... What? You're on the... That what? How is your hospital? What? I see.
The nurses are...
What? But
what are you...
How long do you...
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc.
If blood and...
I ain't afraid.
And who?
I'm the leader.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox.
This place is full of...
Consider yourself...
Don't play the innocent with...
I'll leave. Good evening.
Good evening.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Please, Jonathan, come in. This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could...
I cannot explain.
It may seem strange.
Forgive me.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactor.
A spokesman.
Discretion is...
And you would like... Accept it.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr.
You I will glad...
Look...
These...
What?
As... Even... As a...
Please.
My...
I'll meet that...
My life...
So lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us. What is this? Who are you?
There's... Please, Harry, I have...
God!
You...
That...
Thank you for... The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening.
Good evening. Let...
No.
That...
Goodbye. Good. Do you know if any of the
people who work...
Tell me, nurse. Did you know Dr. Tippett was addicted to medication?
I suspected this behavior for some time, but never dared to ask him about it. Until the day he confessed to me.
Why would he confess to you about his addiction, Nurse Brannigan?
Don't you know you doctors can't hide anything from a nurse? We're always there, even if you don't notice us.
Do you consider yourselves our confessors, Nurse Brannigan?
I wouldn't dare, Dr. Reed. But I'm intrigued. How did you discover Dr. Tippett's secret?
What can I say? I seem to have an...
And...
Do you... And...
Then...
Goodbye. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to...
I'd like to see your...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Please show me one.
Of course.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I ought to see someone at the...
Please, sir.
What's going on?
I'm blind.
I'm Dr.
Oswald.
How long? Don't be What can you...
I'm...
This...
We were...
What?
It's not... What you...
I have...
Thank...
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Feel the fresh air. Can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad. Oh, Miss. Yes, good.
I'll take it.
This must be Clay Cox's knife. A fine blade. No wonder he wants it back.
What sort of creature is this?
Here's some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Get them weapons ready! I'll fight for this! Filthy fucking beast!
Me off this time. Hey, Doc.
I have found a gift from your wife.
In that case, you'll be properly rewarded, Doc. Clay Cox is a man of his word.
I hope that won't make me an accomplice to your future crimes.
Who knows what I might do now I feel invincible again?
I'll leave.
Is this supposed to be an hospital? A pigsty?
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
It's locked, all right.